So today I'm going to deal with a slightly more interesting topic than simply sticking a piece of paper onto cardboard. Today we're going to mount the rear of the counters. We're going to align them and fix those. Before we get into that though, I had a couple of comments on my last video from Kerry Anderson, who's a bit of an expert at this. First of all, he said with the glue, when you're using glue, ideally do it outside. It's not really practical for me, so what I'm going to do, I'm doing it inside, making sure the room is well ventilated, and I'll wear a mask as well. I mean, we've all got these, I'm sure, at the moment. He also suggested that the adhesive I was using, which was this one, may not adhere as well as the one he suggested, which is this 3M77. So I've invested in a can of that. Anyway, the tools we'll need today for attaching the back of the counters, you'll need a hole punch, either one of these style or a Japanese rotary punch. I personally prefer to use these, but they're both do the job. Also, you will need a means of aligning the front and the rear. Now, some people, including Kerry, will actually have the paper such that when you attach the front, the rear of the counters is also part of the same sheet, and you simply fold it around and get the counters aligned that way. The way I'm doing it is a bit more involved. It was recommended by my Belgian friend Garoli Zivigdari, if I'm pronouncing his surname or even his forename anywhere near right, and he manufactured a jig similar to this one. What it is, it's a piece of plywood, roughly the same size as an A4 sheet. You can see there, and I've drilled holes as precisely as I can in the same position as appear on the template for the counters. So you need to print the counter template out, put it onto your piece of wood, and then use an awl such as this just to mark the centres of those alignment holes. Then what you do is you then drill a hole slightly narrower in diameter than your alignment hole. Mine are 1/8 of an inch, so just under 1/8 of an inch, or 3mm is the hole I've drilled, and then you screw in my case 3mm screws, so they protrude slightly like that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take the front of the counters, which is already mounted on the card as per the last video. We're going to place, first of all we're going to punch the alignment holes out. Now, I don't know whether you can see, I've punched the top alignment holes out already in preparation, but the lower ones at this point are unpunched. So I've put a piece of card underneath just to a bit of sacrificial card really, and then carefully, as accurately as I can, line up the punch with the centre of the hole and punch, and then repeat for the other one. There'll typically be 4 of these, 2 of these are pre-done. The only problem with these, 2 problems with these rotary punches, they fill up with the card, and also they'll take a couple of attempts to get full penetration. There. With that done, what we now do is we place the front of the counters face down on the jig over the alignment holes, like so. Put that to one side, move the tools out of the way, and then what we're going to do is we're going to take the rear sheet and we're going to apply glue to it. Should have shaken this before the video, save you watching me shake away. And we take the rear out and we place this over the same alignment holes. Like so. And get out a piece of cloth. Also got a soft roller which I tend to use on the backs just to get around. The pins. Like so. And then what you do is you carefully prise the counters off the pins. What I normally use is a 18-inch steel rule, just to get it under there and lever it off. There. And that's those hopefully aligned. We'll see when we actually come to punch them. What I'll now do is, and again this was a recommendation from Kerry after the last video, is put a heavy weight on these overnight to help it glue the sheet nice and firmly to the backing paper. One last thing to say, since the last video I've invested in this mammoth roll of backing paper, lining paper for wallpaper, so I can just use this, tear it off once it's got the glue on it, discard it, have a nice clean fresh piece of paper to work on. Okay, that's it. Please consider subscribing to the video channel. There will be more videos to follow this, and hopefully this one's a little bit more informative than the first one. Thank you.